Starfrost, but he's got one more little planet to travel to, as we have the Calarium in the deck here. But unfortunately, he didn't win the dice roll, so we're gonna find out just exactly what Benedict is playing. So it's as mentioned, there's Dinomorphias, there's Exosisters, and there's Cyberdarks. And we're gonna start with Shifter. So
okay,
that is the glue that makes us stand. Okay.
Okay, that's really strong. Therizia starts off with the search of a Dinomorphia trap card. Probably going to go for the domain here to get our engine running with the... Okay, we're actually going to go for the Frenzy.
And those are the only 2 cards that he's playing.
All right, yeah, so this is pay half your life points, and you can fusion summon on your opponent's turn here. But we're also playing a rank 4 sort of esque style engine with the Sakitama reveal itself to normal summon, and that is going to allow us to access... I think we're gonna go for the search of the... Okay, no, this is what actually gets you into the Exosister bridge. Okay.
Okay.
That's one way to access the part there.
It works.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, you might as well just play Kage Takage at that point, right?
I don't know. I mean, I was more surprised that Simone didn't even read the Dinomorphia card, but now he's actually reading the Exosister ones. And yeah, I mean, this is an impressive opening.
Is it? Do you know where it's going?
I think so.
You think so?
I mean,
okay, searching Martha is obviously really powerful. The one card Exosister portion of this deck is really strong. So normally this will lock you out of summoning other monsters for the turn, just Exosisters. But that's why we can just set the Frenzy for the Dinomorphia portion of the deck. And that means you can basically get the best of both worlds here.
That is true. I'm just missing the Cyberdark so far, but for now we're going to reveal the Martha special summon. I think it's Elis, yeah. And we're going to go into the next rank 4, which is Michaelis, and this is going to search out a Returnia, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he gets to set both of the trap cards from their archetypes, and yeah, seems very impressive.
Yeah, I guess if you get to lead with the best of both archetypes, then you're probably going to be able to do some sort of disruption against the Mannadium deck, but I think the real kicker here is going to probably be that Dimension Shifter that's resolved. That's a huge portion of preventing your opponent from playing the game, and Mannadium is a deck that does really need that graveyard to get those destruction effects of cards like Meek.
When the most represented decks are Unchained and the Tier Element, main deck in Shifter sounds real nice if you ask me.
So just to clarify, we have 5 Cyberdark cards in the decks. We have Claw, Edge, and Cyberdark Realm as well. I could not find the Cyberdark Dragon in the extra deck, unfortunately. I was really looking forward to see this. So I'm more than excited to see what he's going to use those cards for, because this is just an extra normal summon that...
Yeah, we've sat here analyzing for a good portion of the 10 minutes or so leading up to this feature match, and we couldn't really figure out what exactly Edge, Claw, and Realm are synergizing with together. Feel free to let us know in the chat, but as far as we could see, it just looked basically like some sort of level 4 extension play. But we're going to go up into the Magnifica here, so this is a bit more familiar with the Exosister strategy, being able to tag out on the opponent's turn, and then essentially swap out to go into Michaelis for the Banish, backed up with the Returnia. Decent amount of disruption here, plus Shifter. It's going to be really hard for Simone to fight through this, I think.
That is true. Now let's take a look at the deck that Simone is running, the Mannadium deck. I have seen multiple players opt to go for hard-going second cards in the main deck. He's running 1 Thrust, 1 Talent, and I think, yeah, the double book package with the triple Book of Eclipse and triple Book of Moon. No droplets and no multiple copies of Thrust.
That's going to help out a lot versus something like Rexterm if that's going to hit the field, but obviously there's still 2 banishes in front of us, as well as the Shifter in play. I'd be really impressed to see how we can deal with that. But in terms of his starters, I mean, you know, the Hero Lives with the Prisma is a really good sort of segue into the Visas portion of the deck, because you can reveal the Fusion, become Visas. Yep. And that's going to allow you to copy the name, but I don't actually know if you can even use Prisma under Shifter.
I was going to check that as well. Do you have to send to the graveyard for cost? It sounds like you would.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it's then. No, wait.
No, I'm pretty sure it's cost. And it changed, but it changed from back when it was in Time Wizard 2010. The text was routed later on, so...
A little bit of history there, huh?
I guess so. I'm old, yeah.
Hey, that's not what I implied.
Oh yeah, it's cost.
All right, so special summoning, and then we get to go into the Reichheart as well. That's a decent start. Being able to search out the Reichphobia. So the Mannadium archetype does have the a lot of lore elements to it, going between all the different planets and archetypes, from Kashtira to Tyr to Scareclaw, now Mannadium. But the Mannadium portion does tend to synergize particularly well with the Scareclaw aspect of the deck, rather than Tyr or Kashtira. And so the Scareclaw archetype in itself, I don't think has done too many waves in the meta over the last year, but it does work out really nicely in Mannadium. But as we normal summon this, on resolution, we're going to be using the Magnifica to tag out, probably to try and go into Michaelis.
Maybe afraid of an exit on night or something.
I mean, that would probably help out, to be honest. Right, there goes the Magnifica resolve in here, banishing the Reichheart, nothing to link up into. Usually you go into the Scareclaw link 1, but I don't even know if it really does too much, honestly, considering how we can't really use our Grave under the Shifter, but we're still going to keep playing here.
The one-off, right?
The one-off is just looking really good right here for Simone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, typically Thrust is like you play 3 and then 1-and-1 targets of whatever in the main deck, but Simone looks like he's got that ratio the other way around, so that's fair.
He's running 1 talent, 1 thrust. I think talent looks really good right here, because it's not a targeting card. So even if you want to tag out with the Magnifica... Oh, we already went into the Michaelis. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so he's using this preemptively, probably to just play around something like searching anything that like immediately deals with monsters. And so if you tag out preemptively, it means you can chain to that rather than waiting for the actual search to complete here. But there's probably a lot of different options to go for in this scenario, and Simone is just trying to think of like what exactly can I search that's good under Shifter.
Talents. I want to read Michaelis for this one, because I want to know if it is, as we call it, hard once per turn. So if you could take it with talents, that you could also activate the effect of Michaelis?
Yeah, so I see what you're saying, to steal and then, yeah. So the way it works is hard once per turn effects, once they've activated on your opponent's side of the field, you are able to then use that hard once per turn effect on your side of the field if you steal with talents. But if it's just a regular, normal, like kind of once per turn effect, then technically that's locked up for the turn here. So that's kind of what looks like the players are debilitating right now.
No, it definitely could. So sounds like a good option, right?
If you're confused what hard once per turn means, it means that the card basically states that you can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn.
And the U there refers to the player, so if it switches control, then that doesn't apply to you.
Not you as a viewer as well. Oh, and we're going for the talents draw too.
And that's it? No, okay, never mind. For a moment I thought you picked it up. Yeah.
Just rearranging his deck.
Wow, Brave actually going for the draw instead.
He's going to try and play through it. Okay, Terraforming, that's...
another one-off.
Yeah, that's... I guess if you play enough one-offs, you will draw some of the cool ones, I suppose. Oh, there's even a one-off Small World. That's that's great.
That's your favorite, right?
Oh, that's in the other deck. This is in
Benedict's list, okay.
Fair enough. Does it make it better? Okay.
What did he pick up there? Was it the Calarium or the Reichphobia?
Calarium.
Calarium, okay.
I'm way too focused on reading up cards. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Okay, so we're immediately getting rid of the Calarium. No search easy right here for Simone. And this is already a big pile of banished cards for Simone. You can only use that many cards in one turn.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what other options are left at this stage. Just looks like 3 back.
And now we switch strategy even in his deck and just set 4.
Set 4 here, alright. Will we see that end phase Frenzy potentially?
I want to see it.
I think we might need a graveyard for that, but let's double check.
Use 1 monster from your deck and 1 monster from your extra deck as fusion material.
Okay. Looks like we're going to go for Returnia as well. This is going to be another removal. So just working out really nicely with the search from the Caspatel, initiating this whole line of Exosister plays. It's really interesting how he's managed to formulate this deck together and just have it synergize so well. So 2 banishes going to be able to
Wow.
resolve here. Yep, there goes the Mannadium trap card there. The Omni Negate. It's able to be searched with Visas Amritara. Is it Visas Amritara or Mannadium?
I think so. It should be Visas, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a part of a long combo line here, which we might be able to see in this match at some point, pulled off by Simona. But yeah, Mannadium is like a sort of a classic style combo deck that sort of wants to go all in with 3-4 card interactions to end on multiple disruptions, Apollousa, Baron, sometimes Dissipator as well as the trap card. Does insulate really well against Dart Ruler, so a lot of different ways for this deck to set up, but sometimes it can struggle going second, although you do have to admit what deck doesn't struggle under Dimension Shifter.
Flu.
That is not wrong.
Gotcha there. Okay, so now we are having the impermanence there on the Michaelis, and this actually pressures Benedict to activate the Frenzy already because it is in the same column. Keep in mind, if the Frenzy is activated after the impermanence in the same chain still, then you can activate it and it's not going to be negated.
Yeah.
Chain links.
Exactly, that is indeed how we link our chains. Perhaps we might be unchaining at some point as well.
Did we have an Unchained on stream so far?
No, we're saving them. We're saving them. Okay, so the Frenzy is activated in response here, and just waiting to see if Simona has anything to do with that. Doesn't look like it, so we do get to send from the deck here. And it means that we can put up that super large Rex term.
Wasn't it only during your opponent main phase that you can use Frenzy?
Ah, correct. Yes, it is in fact main phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
so I think they'll catch it and just now...
Yeah, so it looks like Benedict has reset the card there.
Yep.
So Imperm resolves, that calm's negated. Won't be able to use it for this turn here.
I mean, what I would have liked to see is just not activate Michaelis, but go for a Zeus line.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. I could see that.
But now it doesn't really matter anymore. But it would have also lost to Imperm.
Yeah, that's a good point. Realistically, I don't know if Benedict particularly focuses on OTKing. I want to say it's a control deck based on the Dinomorphia Exosister synergies, but I mean, those options are there available to you, so looks like we're just going to set and pass. And Simona, low on resources, only 1 card in hand, will be drawing to 1, but you just gotta wonder if maybe it's too little too late now. You do need a lot of cards in Mannadium to sort of get your engine going. Now that the shifter has...
oh, we're picking up the deck.
Now
this
we really want to be, at least this format, being in the position where you're so reliant on Droll and Lockbird, which is one of the most devastating hand traps in the game. And what I've noticed is Droll is in basically everyone's main or side.
Which makes you also wonder if that's the reason why these Labyrinth, Dinomorphia decks, and so on are actually being quite successful right now. So,
yeah, I mean, if you can just not really, deal with your opponent stopping you from searching, you're going to be in a really good position to make a lot of their side deck cards dead. But generally, having protection from, hand traps and disruption is a really good strategy. Just set 5, right? So. Someone's going to start off here with Hero Lives, going for that Prisma play. This one's actually going to resolve this time.
He's going to keep the dream alive. There's Dimension Shifter. No hero plays here.
Simone is smiling at the camera. He knows that this is quite tough.
You did have to call it, didn't you? You really needed to do that, didn't you, Leo?
I mean, to be fair, Nadir, you did mention it, resolving it this time, so you also both kind of jinxed it. But I guess that sometimes how it goes. And yeah,
poor Simone. All right, so
I like that Simone asked his opponent if he could activate his card.
Fair enough.
Okay, so the Hero Lives is definitely in the grave because the shifter was used on summon of the Prisma. Not that that's going to make too much difference. I think that's an Obsession being used. Yeah, so the Mannadium Obsession, because we have already activated Prisma. I think that's what we're clarifying with the judge here. Let me just double check.
Did not activate Prisma, yeah? So yeah, he is gonna destroy it to instead get the Peaceful Planet from deck to end.
Yeah, sure. So just destroy a monster and then add Calarium.
Exactly.
And that is exactly what happens. Now we are not in danger of Drone Lockbird anymore because this card has to be discarded to the graveyard for cost. This is why it's not going to be able to resolve. And now we're adding a Reamheart right here.
Small consolation prize, we could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still do some pretty neat combos just with a single Reamheart, but the issue is this graveyard is now switched off here, so we'll have to see if we can do anything through this. Typically, Reamheart gets you into the Abscission line, but we've gone around it the opposite way, so let's see if someone can figure out some sort of baby combo, shall we say, to set up here while under Shifter.
And we are searching for a Meek now. Simon, actually, he was kind of smiling, like he's really put on his thinking hat, and I think that he's going to tinker out a little combo that can maybe like stop Benedict in his tracks really early. Like just a Baron can sometimes be enough for those slow decks to just stop the first turn.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a single negate when you've only got like a set or so is pretty rough.
He does have devices.
Yeah, so at least the consolation here is that while the graveyard is off Meek and the other Mannadium, when they are destroyed by Battle or card effect, they do still trigger even when banished.
Does Calarium summon from the graveyard?
I guess we'll see.
We will find out. No.
No, it does not.
Okay, not too bad.
So this is actually looking huge right now. We have 4 monsters on the field after this resolves. 2 of them are Meek.
Yeah, Meek brings itself back, floats into another copy of itself. We've got Visas. Normally you would go for the graveyard component of this deck here with the Scareclaw package, but I don't think we're going to be able to really do that under Shifter. But yeah, I mean, you can still do something.
I think this is Gachi Gachi Gantetsu Pass, right?
I mean, that would be something.
Boost all the monsters for 400 attack and defense points? That's insane.
You've been around. Yeah, so I think you're probably going to try to consider going to Amritara as well, which is the synchro monster that allows you to get the counter trap. So that's something that we can also try and go for here. There's also level modulation potentially possible with the Meek here. So there's a different line as well, depending on how someone wants to play this one. Sure.
Okay.
So let me read up on Meek. When can you modulate the level? Ah, yeah, you can just up the level by 2 of the Meek that you're summoning from the deck. And I think that was the one. Reamheart is definitely not a tuner, so you can just go for...
Yeah.
Ooh. That is really interesting. We're going for the Axel Synchro while there is no monster in the graveyard.
Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, to access Baron somehow, if that's what he wants to go. And instead, no, he does have the Despair line. Makes sense.
I mean, there are plenty of banished monsters now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Despair is a good interruption on the opponent's turn as well, just because our opponent has banished a lot of our own cards here. At an absolute minimum, we can use the effect to destroy.
Yeah.
And eventually, if Benedict gets any of his own cards banished on his own turn when he tries to play, you can also use it to negate an effect. So a little bit of diversity there if we can get lights and darks banished. Brings back the Reamheart, and that is a potential level 10 as well here.
Yep. Impressive stuff through a Shifter. Yeah.
It is something. It's not too bad of an end field, all things considered, just how devastating this can feel. Looks like he's going to pass turn here.
That's it.
And now Benedict will have to find a way to play through this. I mean, he also cited other cards that are strong going second, but I think those were mostly hand traps. He is running a...
But there is an evenly match to start things off and just force out. Let's see if there is a second copy once this Baron will negate it. If he does negate it.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a couple of decision trees you want to maybe think through here, because while you can Baron protect, you're essentially just trading Baron for keeping a Dissipator, or rather you could just remove your Baron. The main problem I'm considering here is Thrust. So if you do choose to negate here, you are risking hitting something like that.
What if you keep the Baron?
Yeah, I would go for that as well.
And that is actually what he's choosing to do, yeah. So Simon does read that potentially a Thrust play could come down, so hoping that a Omni negate will be enough.
Oh, perfect line for Simone. Caster approved as well. He keeps the Baron, now has the aggressive effect of popping a card on his own turn as well against just one set. What a coincidence. It's just one card that you have to pop.
Unless it's Waking the Dragon, I think this will feel pretty good.
I mean, that you can negate then.
Yeah, I guess. It's that back row here. No chain. Oh, picks up.
That's
Okay.
it.
Like three different engines. I think you're more than likely to draw one of them, coupled with 9 blowout floodgates, as well as the prosperity. You just have so much access to basically instant win buttons that can really, really win you the game here. And I guess we'll find out just exactly if that's what's going to play out here, as Benedict looks to be beginning with Martha.
Martha.
Prosperity is such a fantastic card, especially after siding, because it really, really ups your chances to draw into those also powerful side deck cards.
Hear me out.
Okay, let's go.
No. We have the Marcello bit. Oh no.
Is the best pot card ever made. Even
Oh.
better than Pot of Greed.
100% agree.
Okay.
100% agree.
Oof, but we see an Ash Blossom.
Ash
Very
Blossom
good.
is pretty strong against Martha, but there's so many just different engines that Benedict can pull out this pull out with the stops here to deal with that. Are we normal summoning Martha?
Normal summon Martha.
Cyber
Martha
Evil Exosister players be
Cyber
like
Darks now.
normal summon Martha.
Cyber
Yeah,
Darks.
you might actually finally see it.
Where are
Come
they?
on, hit us with the realm. Realm. I see Pax. I see Pax.
No.
Oh, it's Ellis, right?
Yeah.
I think.
I mean,
Pax
seems
Ellis.
like
I think he's drawn way too many Exosister
Yeah.
cards, right? Because like typically you just want to open like the one Martha, and that kind of gets you to the rest of them.
Yeah.
So Simona could be a little bit fortunate here, maybe.
Typically, you really want to have the Cyberdark Realm in your hand.
Yeah.
Or Claw.
Yes,
maybe.
Leo.
I don't know.
Yes, you are correct. He will be ending on Cyber Darkness Dragon. I promise you by the end of this turn.
Thank you. This is very comforting.
All
Pax.
right. Pax is pay 8, feel great, and search for a Exosister. Just any name. Search another Martha, okay?
Seems like Benedict really enjoys playing Martha.
Yeah, and best starter card in the entire archetype. It's what you want to see. One card combo with a bunch of defensive cards backing up here. And it looks like we do get to go into Michaelis. Any responses here? Not a lot of hand traps you can really play in Mannadium. Typically in combo decks, you do just want to have like blowouts, like go second, Dart Rulers of the books. Something like that can really help you out. So just a simple Ash Blossom, I think, sometimes I feel can be quite underwhelming in a format where Thrust is quite popular.
Yeah, but I think that's the genius right here, because people are playing around Thrust. People are cutting on Ash Blossoms, going second after siding, because they know, hey, there are like at least 5 talent cards. So the players with the talent cards, they are starting to side out those cards because they know there aren't going to be any hand traps. And now, look at this.
4-dimensional chess, exactly. Like, I see it.
Always be 1 step ahead. If you're 2 steps ahead, you're going to lose. But 1 step ahead is just like the perfect amount of steps.
So if you're 3 steps ahead, you're back to where you started,
Yes,
so now you're no
exactly.
longer...
That's just basic Yu-Gi-Oh! That's Legend of Blue Eyes.
All right, we got Caspatel detaching here to search, and it's going to give us the Returnia, I think. Or although I think we might have drawn it. Okay, we're just going to... The third Martha, all right. Benedict is Martha's strongest soldier. I really respect it. The dedication he's shown to this one card is amazing. Okay, so here is Magnifica. Similar to last turn here. Will we also have Frenzy? Deja Vu. 2 set cards.
This looks like it's a really solid Cyber Dark opening.
And no shifter this time. This is, I think, the most important part here.
At this point, I'm convinced it's a decklist error.
I hope it's not. I really do hope it's not.
All right, Simona's going to have 5 cards here to deal with this opening, and that's a Hero Lives. Is that 3 games in a row? Not bad.
Yep.
I came up with a perfect pun for the card 2 games ago and I forgot about it.
A Hero Lives?
Okay.
I'll try later again.
Okay. So, I mean, my question is, do you think the 3rd Plasma is like the one that resolves, or...?
I mean, the 3rd one is the one that didn't get shifted.
Okay. Yeah. No shifter here. Will we be banishing it on summon, potentially?
3rd time's the hero's shot.
First time's the shot. Yeah. Let's see.
half your life points.
I'm skeptical that it will. But
Isn't half your life points really good against Dinomorphia?
wow, synergy.
Yeah, so like typically you want to have significantly less life points than your opponents because it creates a deficit with Rexterm or Kentragina, I think. But I'm not even convinced we play Dinomorphia cards. I think that frenzy that was set last game was just a bluff.
And there goes the third Prisma. 3 times in a row, Hero leaves is open. Not once. That was
Prisma just can't catch a break.
Yeah, give the guy a break.
Also, it's one of, so it's always the same Prisma.
Yeah, it's always the poor guy. Yeah.
All right, Magnifica is still sitting strong there. Returnia, also a fantastic removal.
Interesting that we're reading the materials of Magnifica.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Okay.
Probably trying to see like if there's any bonus effects and influences on this.
Yeah, it could switch out, so I guess.
I mean, it's not a Zodiac Whiptail, right?
I wish.
Marcello remembers that card.
Yeah, I wish.
Why does he remember that card?
I don't know.
Remind me.
Did you win a tournament or something?
I don't know. We can ask Tom. Sending love.
Okay, Calarium is a nice little follow-up there. That's the Rhoda of the deck. You can get to advise us.
So 3 cards in hand now. After Calarium, it's 4 again. But
Yeah, it's not looking too bad here. This is still anyone's game to play. In response, we're going to use the Magnifica.
at this point, it feels like Benedict is just throwing his interruptions at the first thing that he's encountering.
That sometimes works.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to like spreadsheet and think about like, you know, under this portion or this line of play, you can stop this choke point. Sometimes you just activate your cards.
Sometimes, but not all the time.
Exactly. And then you your opponent runs out of gas.
Never once in my life have I used a spreadsheet. You heard it here. So, yeah.
Oh, and there is the triple tactic thrust, which is looking fantastic now. Simone has his game face on, staring down his opponent and now just casually going through his deck, finding a possible Talons or Raigeki or Harpy's Feather Duster or everything, basically.
Reassure me, is he signing at least more copies or is it still the one?
He's signing the second one.
Okay. Feel better about it.
So 1 and 1 into 2 thrust. Okay, that's fair. I mean,
yeah.
Hard ones per turn. I guess maybe you don't want to draw them too often in tandem with each other. So, yeah, I mean, it must be said, thrust is definitely a highlight of the format, right?
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I think very few cards have a similar deck building impact, I feel like, you know. One that was close was probably Diablosis in terms of extra deck, where, you know, every deck had to adapt to it, and Thrust really has an impact. I love that deck building aspect of it. And yeah, we are still going for that talent. Makes sense.
I mean, you don't have anything on your field, so you can just simply talent take Michaelis and start to do link plays with it later on and just get rid of the banish effect.
Is he on Zeus?
I don't think so.
Simone is, in fact, not on Zeus.
Okay.
But he has some link monsters.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Cross Sheep I see there. You're hovering over that. That's part of the combo, but we'll see if we actually get to that point in the first place.
Okay, he's
So,
gonna
yeah.
use the effect.
Yeah, he does go for the Talons take because it's just the easiest one-for-one trade for the disruption here, and you can hopefully try keep going.
I think he can banish the set card as well, right?
And he goes to banish the hero leaves just to even send a further message to that Prisma.
I might not win this game, but this Prisma is not going to have a good time here. So the question now is, can you banish face-down spell trap cards with Michaelis?
There he goes, for everybody to check. You can target indeed any card.
Oh, and Frenzy is chained to this. Now we're going to see if this Frenzy was just a bluff before. I think we're going to see a powerful fusion summon here, and this might change the game again.
Yeah, we didn't get to see it in action game 1. But now we are indeed in his opponent main phase, so we get to resolve it, and he's also gonna pay half of his life points.
These fusion spells, well, trap I suppose in a way, but these effective fusion summon, I mean, these cards just keep getting stronger and stronger. I thought we peaked at branded fusion, but we have a trap card that summons a skill drain on the opponent's turn here. So that's going to be pretty good. Rexterm is, yeah, one of the most important pivotal parts of the Dinomorphia strategy here.
Yep. You heard it here first. Dinomorphia Frenzy is better than branded Fusion.
I said what I said.
Okay.
I love that with those rogue decks that have really powerful boss monsters, you can see the reactions on the players' faces when they try to grab the card and start reading it, and they're like, "Oh, this is trouble. I did not expect this."
Totally. And it is a pretty good card, to be fair, yeah.
So your opponent can activate effects of monsters they control that have an attack greater than or equal to your life points. So Benedict's on 32 right now, which means Simona can't use monsters that are 32 or higher, which shouldn't be too much of an issue because we do have a bonus effect of Rexterm, which is pay half your life, and then the attack of all monsters your opponent controls become equal to your life. So we can divide by 2 on the 32 here and prevent those from being used, but this is a decent start here with the normal summon Meek plus Reamheart. Meek triggers to special summon a copy of itself, as well as Ream can get a copy of a spell here.
And Ream is also at 1,500 attack points, so even if you're halving your life points, it's still going to resolve.
Yeah, exactly. Although Rexterm is a bit of a nuisance to get through. It's huge, and generally you want to, like, I don't know, maybe try pop with a Baron or something, but obviously that's just not going to be able to work under Rexterm.
Yeah, but you need to be careful because it says they cannot activate the effect. So if you wait for the effect and you chain the card, that effect still resolves. So, you know, you need to pay attention to that when you're playing the Rexterm.
Yeah, similar to the way that Dweller works, but I guess the Dinomorphia version of such.
Yeah, and I think Ed is cheering in the background with this, you know, Rex, huge dinosaur monster on the field. So
some representation is important for our fallen dino heroes. Have any of you read Misk at all?
I have read Misk. There's all kinds of different effects. 2, in fact.
Miscellaneous ones.
Exactly. All right, so now we're in kind of a stalemate right now. We are just, as Simona, analyzing the state of the game right now, as there is now a Rexterm on the field, and we're summoning... Oh, that is, I suppose, the...
Fearless.
Manadum Torrid.
Torrid? Fearless?
This is...
Torrid, yeah?
Is this one Torrid?
This is Torrid.
It is Torrid.
They look very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with a little turret in the bubble.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning architecture today.
I don't think it's a turret. It's just a building. And Meek just has a little Meek on it.
Yeah, there's the Amritara, so it's going to be able to search here because it is above 32 attack points currently.
Simona goes to grab his deck, and he's going to get another spell trip card. I mean, it's not over 3,200, right?
25, so we can resolve it. I'm just wondering why we didn't use the other effect of Rexterm.
It's the same issue that either you use it right away, preemptively, or if you chain it to the effect still resolves. So basically you need to use it.
Oh,
yeah.
But why didn't we?
Good question. Well, I guess he's still fearing that there was something else that could have gone there, but I don't know.
Right, Phobia is really good right now, and I'm wondering why the Amritara wasn't summoned in defense position.
Oh, we're going for game at some point, that's why.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't forget about the second effect of Frenzy. I think Frenzy is banished, so that does not work out that way. Okay, I think you can banish Frenzy from the graveyard if you're about to take damage, and then you don't. Something like that?
Yeah, all the Dinomorphia protect yourself from being burned. Pretty much the logic is that if you're going to be at, like, 17 life points, actual real numbers confirmed that you can reach in Dinomorphia, then your opponent can theoretically just go Ukazi. Not very popular right now, but a couple of decks have burns in them, and so it's just a nice little defensive way to protect yourself from that. But looks like we're going to pop off here with VSAS plus the Mannadium cards here floating into themselves, getting searches, getting another copy of itself, and we have tuners, we have modulation, we've got the whole Scareclaw line remaining as well if we want to. So Simone's in a really good position here.
Yeah, and Simone, as you might have noticed from the clock, increasing has been issued as low play warning. So we got a 3 minutes extension, as there are about 6 minutes and a half remaining in the round.
So Phobia now is being read right now. If you have 3 defense position monsters on the entire field, not only on your field, you are able to destroy 1 card on the field as well. And this is going to be the Rex turn. Benedict is checking his graveyard. Is there any protection effect? We are now reading the other fusion monster, Stealth Bergia, that was sent to the graveyard, but no, Rex turn is going to be sent to the graveyard and it is triggering.
Yeah, Threadzia gets to come back here when a dinosaur is destroyed, so at least that gets to float, potentially set another card here, but it's a really commanding position here from Simona, despite having to deal with Rexterm and all of the different Exosister disruptions we've got being unloaded there. It's also pretty tight on time, only 5 minutes remaining. Slow play warning was issued, but is ahead currently, Simone, and still has a way to keep going here.
Yeah, too bad, as you mentioned, maybe if you use the Rex at the very start of the turn, it could have prevented this planet from being added, but now it seems tough to recover.
It's really strong that this planet is going to actually also play through your opponent's field as well, instead of just adding cards. And now we're seeing a cross sheep. We were talking about it. He found something for the Michaelis.
Yeah, so the yeah, that's a good use there. Really cool interaction you can do here with Cross Sheep, because it has one of the more powerful effects of Cross Sheep is when you summon a fusion. It allows you to reborn from the graveyard, and Visas Astrolaud is something you can actually contact into from your graveyard. So I think we're definitely gonna see that happen at some point here by Simona.
You were talking about great fusion cards, but what about a fusion that just summons itself by banishing cards from the graveyard without even having to do anything? And now we have the Apollosa as well.
Doesn't seem necessary, however. We're actually going to link up into the Apollosa with the Cross Sheep instead of using the effect here.
Yeah, you might find the way to just
okay, now we're making the Astrolauds. Interesting.
This is it, right?
This is looking really good for Simona. Astrolaud is popping the Theritia, and we are offering the fist bump. Simona wins this one.